Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your strategic shortcut, giving you the core knowledge you need straight from the sources. Today, we are strapping in for, well, a pretty high altitude look at the fast evolving world of business travel, specifically extended stay solutions across Asia Pacific. Yeah, we're really diving into how premium corporate infrastructure is, adapting to the long-term needs of executives, project teams. Our source material today, it centers on a report detailing this pretty ambitious international expansion by Victory Offices. They're a prominent Australian flexible workspace provider, and they're moving into the Greater China region, specifically via Hong Kong, a major financial hub, obviously. Okay, so let's unpack this. What does this very visible, very high prestige launch actually tell us about what professionals, entrepreneurs, corporate teams need right now when they're operating in APAC? And maybe why is this high-end, tailored flexibility becoming like a strategic necessity, not just a nice-to-have perk?
Well, that word necessity is exactly right. I think that's fascinating here. This expansion, it really highlights a fundamental convergence. You've got this luxury environment meeting operational necessity. So you're not just looking at, a real estate deal. It's a calculated strategic move. The specific choice of where in Hong Kong and the level of service, well, it speaks volumes about where the top end of the market is putting its money.
Right. Let's nail down the who and where first then. So Victory Offices, they're listed on the Australian Stock Exchange, founded back in 2013. And they have this history, right? Securing long leases, building strong brand recognition, but always in prime buildings across Australia. We're talking Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Perth.
They definitely know how to pick a building that signals stability, status. And that track record, choosing those prime spots, that's really essential context for their first international move. Picking Hong Kong isn't random. It's about establishing a strategic beachhead, specifically designed to penetrate the Greater China region. It's like planting their flag in a globally recognized high-stakes market.
Okay, and here's where the detail gets really interesting, I think. The specific address. It's situated on level 7 to 6 of the center. In central Hong Kong, I mean, that floor number and that building, the center, it's one of the most recognizable skyscrapers anywhere. That sends a pretty undeniable signal, doesn't it? Prestige, gravitas.
It's more than just prestige, though. It's instant credibility. Think about it for corporate teams on these long-term assignments.
Yeah.
Maybe finance, legal, high-tech consulting. Their temporary office, it has to reflect the quality and status of their home base, right? Operating from level 76 of the center. Well, it doesn't just look good. It acts as a kind of non-verbal communication. It immediately builds trust, gravity with high-profile local clients, partners, especially in a fast-paced market where, let's face it, optics are crucial. It's really an investment in reputation.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So you've got the address locked down, pretty unparalleled. Now, let's talk about the actual user experience. What does 23,628 square feet on level 76 feel like? What are the specific features designed to support those high-stakes assignments we mentioned? The source says the new facility spans, 23,628 square feet. It's clearly aimed at attracting and keeping an exclusive membership. This is definitely not your average flex desk space. It starts with the arrival, apparently. A grand reception area sets the tone, but then it moves into a dedicated upscale bar atrium.
Yeah, the bar atrium is a fantastic detail because it really illustrates that blurring of lines, between high-end hospitality and professional infrastructure. It positions the workspace as this premium venue. Good for internal socializing, sure, but maybe more importantly, for high-level client entertainment, which, as you know, is pretty essential in APAC business culture.
And beyond the social bits, the source really emphasizes the core work areas, private offices offering these stunning, full panoramic views of the harbor. Why is a view something that seems, well, aesthetic? Why is that so critical to the value proposition for a corporate client who might be there for months, even a year?
It ties directly into talent retention and well-being. When you ask your top executives or your highly skilled project managers to relocate for 6 months, maybe a year, the environment they work in, it becomes a critical benefit. It's not just four walls anymore. The view, the natural light, the high-quality fittings. These things, they offset the inherent stress of an international assignment. It signals that the parent company is really prioritizing the comfort, the experience of its key people.
Okay. And they also include, the standard modern stuff like co-working desks, private phone booths, but then they pivot sharply back into these specialized amenities. Unique wellness zones. They specifically call out a Zen room, plus numerous other breakout spaces. Analyzing that design philosophy, the emphasis on wellness zones, particularly the Zen room, that's a critical strategic asset. especially in a high-stress, densely packed financial hub like Hong Kong. It explicitly tackles the risks, associated with burnout, long hours, providing these dedicated, serene spaces for mental decompression,
Hmm.
whether it's for meditation or just a quiet moment. That's an active investment in sustained high performance over the whole duration of a long assignment. It's a tangible commitment, really, to promoting a healthy work-life balance when travel and high pressure make that balance so hard to maintain.
And this whole commitment to the user experience, it's underpinned by their service model. We really need to dig into what the company means when they promise award-winning six-star services. I mean, that term gets thrown around a lot as marketing jargon, right?
Hmm.
But practically, for, let's say, a CFO on a 6-month assignment, what does that level of intensive support actually involve?
That's a really crucial distinction. What separates six-star from just being, very nice?
Well, it means moving way beyond just providing, like, high-speed internet and basic reception. In a corporate context, six-star service involves a really bespoke operational environment. So this could include, for example, personalized IT infrastructure setup tailored to a specific firm's security standards. Or maybe dedicated compliance and regulatory support staff right there on site, helping foreign teams navigate local rules. Or even high-touch concierge services that extend to, say, bespoke catering, complex travel management for executives flying in and out. It's really about removing every operational hurdle so the client can just focus entirely on their core business.
Okay, so this massive Hong Kong move, it's clearly fueled by confidence, but that confidence has to be grounded in success, right? Let's look at their established track record in Australia. That must be what supports this incredibly ambitious expansion into Greater China.
Yeah, the Australian figures cited in the source are, well, pretty impressive. They serve over 10,000 clients, and from really diverse, high-value sectors, finance, legal, tech, consulting. That suggests a broad appeal, something transferable. And crucially, they maintained an impressive 89% occupancy rate as of June 30th, 2019.
Right, and that specific date, June 30th, 2019, that's important context, citing an 89% occupancy rate right before, the massive global disruption and market contraction. It shows the robustness and the demand for their model in what was then a normal high-demand economy. It demonstrates they had a formula that worked successfully, profitably, built on service and quality, and that's what they're now exporting. It's a strong baseline proof of concept, really.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, that established success in competitive markets like Sydney and Melbourne.
Yeah.
That gives them the operational expertise and probably the financial leverage they need to attempt a high-cost, high-reward move like Hong Kong.
Okay, but let me just push back on that strategy a tiny bit. If they focus exclusively on the very top end, the top 1% of the market, level 76 clients demanding six-star service, aren't they kind of unnecessarily limiting their scalability in Greater China? It's a region where mid-tier flexibility is also booming. The Australian model might be profitable, sure, but is it really transferable to a market this dense, this competitive?
That's a valid strategic question, definitely, about maximizing market share versus maximizing margin. But the confidence of the CEO, Mr. Dan Baxter, in the source material, it suggests they believe focusing on quality is the scalability model for them. He emphasizes that Victory Offices prioritizes the absolute highest quality, the most exclusive environments, coupled with those bespoke six-star services. And here's the key element, I think: tailored business solutions to suit the exact requirements of their customers. So by focusing on that highest margin segment, the one that requires deeply customized premium solutions, they're establishing a brand position that justifies the high operational costs in a place like Hong Kong. They're not really trying to win a volume game, it seems. They're aiming to become the indispensable, high-functioning home base for a very specific, very lucrative subset of international corporate clientele. That tailored approach, not some one-size-fits-all model, that's what they believe attracts and retains the necessary long-term business.
Okay, that makes sense. So what does this all mean for you, the listener, watching this world of extended business stays change? Because this isn't just a story about one company opening a fancy new office, is it? It feels more like a bellwether, a signal for where corporate infrastructure spending is actually headed in Asia. The source expresses a very clear future outlook, too. The move into Hong Kong is explicitly described as a testament to Victory Office's ambition to extend its global footprint. This high-prestige launch is just step one on a bigger map.
Precisely. Their intention, stated clearly, is to offer this unique blend, premium workspaces, exceptional service to a wider international market. Their hope, and I'm quoting here, is to extend our footprint to other premium locations in Asia.
Hmm.
And that signals a critical trend, I think. The investment priority for global companies doing business in APAC seems to be shifting. The need isn't just finding a desk for a few months anymore. It's about demanding an exclusive environment, one that serves as a high-functioning, full-service, six-star home base during those long, complex corporate assignments.
Yeah.
It's a pretty clear indication that companies are willing to pay a premium for infrastructure that explicitly supports both the productivity and the mental well-being of their most valuable talent.
Oh, cool.
They recognize that these elements are just inextricably linked to the success of any international project.
Absolutely. So the core takeaway from this deep dive seems clear. The expansion of providers like Victory offices into hubs like Hong Kong signals that for extended stays in Asia Pacific, corporate clients are unequivocally prioritizing premium design. Strategic, recognizable location, the unparalleled advantage of level 76 and intensive six-star service, they're choosing that over just basic operational functionality. Feels like the standard for good enough has been permanently replaced by a standard for exclusive and exceptional.
hmm And that leads us nicely to our final provocative thought for you to chew on. If this highly tailored model premium exclusive flexible workspace, if it proves successfully scalable in a gateway city like Hong Kong, where else do corporate teams need this blend of luxury, instant credibility, and intensive long-term flexibility the most? Which other premium locations in Asia, perhaps Singapore, maybe Tokyo, which do you think will be next to see this kind of strategic high-altitude expansion? Because that's undoubtedly where the high-end real estate and service providers are looking to invest next.